Hey there, hope you're having a wonderful day. In this video, we're going to cover duck typing in Python. So duck typing is an example of polymorphism where different classes can share similar behaviors. So the word polymorphism comes from Greek, so poly means many and morph means form. So many forms. And so far in this series, we've only covered operator overloading as an example of polymorphism. So in Python, operator overloading is done through dunder methods. So as a quick example of polymorphism, you can see we have list.extend list2 and list plus equal list2. These two have the same exact functionality. They append all the elements from list2 onto list. So polymorphism, we have many forms to do one functionality. And of course, this plus equal is the operator, which is done through dunder methods, and this extend is a regular method. So with duck typing, we can have different classes, basically many forms, sharing the same behavior. And the term duck typing comes from this quote: if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it must be a duck. So the idea here is we don't really care if the object is actually a duck, we just care that it can quack. So let's go over an example. So let's say I want to design a game with different character classes. So I'm going to do class warrior, and let's create a constructor for the warrior. So some attributes that a warrior can have is health. So here I'll just set it to 100. And a warrior needs a weapon. So weapon is going to be sword. So that's a basic prototype of a class for warrior. And let's create two more. And here I can just copy and paste this. And I'm going to change this one to mage, which is short for magician. You can also call this wizard, but I'll just call it mage because that's how many video games call magicians. And instead of a sword, we can give a mage a staff. And then let's create one more. So here I will do archer. And instead of a sword, an archer will have a bow. Okay, so we have three character classes. Now let's add some methods. So with a sword, a warrior can slash. So here I'm going to print warrior slashed with sword. And with a magician, I can use a spell. So here I'll do print mage used a fire spell. And for the archer, I'll do shoot. And we'll do archer, shot, and arrow. Alright, so for each character class, we have a weapon and a way of using that weapon. So let's create an instance of each class. So warrior is equal to warrior. Mage is equal to mage. And then archer, archer. And let's add them all on the same team. So team, we're going to use a list, and I'll do warrior, mage, and archer. And let's say we're battling an enemy, so we want all of our characters to use their weapons. So I'll do for member in team. The first member is a warrior, and the warrior can slash. So I'm going to do member.slash. Now if I save and run the program, you can see warrior slashed with sword, and then we get an error. So it worked the first time because warrior is the first team member, so the warrior attacks first, but then the next person to attack is the mage, and you can see the mage does not have a slash method. Instead, the mage has a spell method. So this is where duck typing comes in. We have three different character classes that are very similar. They each have a weapon, but the way they use the weapon is different. But this should not matter because these are three different forms of attacking. So what I can do here is I can rename each one to just attack. So now each character class has an attack method. And then down here, I can just change this to attack. And now if I save and run the program, you can see warrior slashed with sword, mage used a fire spell, and archer shot an arrow. So we have three different character classes with the same attack method, but each attack method has its own definition. But again, this doesn't matter because we don't care whether an object is a duck, we just care that it can quack. So the way of attacking or who is attacking is irrelevant as long as the character can attack. Alright, and one more thing we can do is instead of changing the names, So I'm going to change this back to slash, and this one back to spell, and this one back to shoot. We can define a separate attack method. So here I can just do self.slash, and I can copy and paste this, and this would be spell, and then down here, this would be shoot. So instead of directly calling spell and shoot, I can just create another method that acts as a wrapper for that function. And if I save and run the program, you can see we get the same thing. Warrior slash with sword, mage used a fire spell, and archer shot an arrow. Alright, that's it for this video. So that's duck typing. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you give this video a like. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. And if you want to stay up to date for more Python tutorials, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.